Damon Parr. Good morning.
Are we live?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Today it's what time is it? 10:30 Colorado time. I've been up since about 3:45, not by choice, but feeling good. Had my first cup of coffee in about 2.5 months. So should be good for the day. Maybe take a nap later. Who knows?
You had your first cup of coffee in 2.5 months?
Yeah, yeah. It
Wow.
was uh it was mostly because I ran out of filters and I didn't want to buy anymore. I had like a pound of coffee, but ran out of filters, and I said, if I'm going to do this, now's the time. So yeah, that's kind of what started it. But uh, there was some other coffee lying around that was easy make this morning, so I just fired it up at about 4:30. And yeah, first cup of coffee in 2.5 months, and been sober since about September 1st or 2nd ish, one of those days.
Oh,
So,
were you substituting anything else for your coffee?
I have had a couple Diet Cokes at work because there's a fridge that's stocked with some soda. And I've also had maybe 3 or 4 Red Bulls during that time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, not completely off caffeine, but absolutely zero coffee until this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think like we wanted to talk about how our lives have changed over the last year.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. I mean, we could probably fill a warehouse with all the changes that have happened in the last year.
You're telling me that you're playing some poker now?
I'm playing some poker, you know? Historically, I've played poker. I played a lot in like the 2008, 9, 10 area time frame. And then this thing that people in the poker community call Black Friday happened, which was the Department of Justice shut down all the online poker sites like Poker Stars, Full Tilt, a couple other ones. So online
Hmm.
poker has kind of been not dormant in the US, but significantly hamstringed, we'll call it.
Okay.
And back in about April, the middle of the first stay-at-home order here in Denver, I threw about $100 on a little poker site and have run that up to just over 4 figures. So um, yeah, that's the summary. It's a hobby. I'm still real estate guy, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. And in this era of social distancing and not socializing in real life, that's kind of my social outlet, really. Not only playing where you're just staring at a screen, clicking a mouse, but I've made quite a few friends that also are doing the same thing across the world, really, like Europe, across the United States. With Zoom and just like we use Slack, which is like the
Hmm.
Microsoft chat
Yeah.
program. Talk about life, talk about poker, talk about all sorts of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of been my social outlet, not not going out and being face to face with people, especially probably over the last like 2 months. It's been kind of accelerated.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And I know you're kind of fired up about it.
yeah. It's again, it's like something that I enjoy. I mean, I think that there's a perception about poker and just we'll say gambling in general that people are uh, maybe addicted to gambling, and poker is an interesting game because unlike craps, roulette, slot machines, blackjack. There's really not a it's not a player versus casino dynamic.
Hmm.
It's a player versus player dynamic. And there's almost an infinite amount of levels that you can go in deepness with the game. I play Texas Hold'em
Hmm.
six-handed. So, 52 cards in a deck. Each person gets 2 cards, and then there's 5 community cards. So, you know, the amount of combinations of cards you can get is significant, and the total variations of different hands is it's not infinite, but it's up there. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a big community out there that not only looks at the strategy part of the game, but also like the mental part of it. The mental preparation, the mental toll. Because there's a lot of math involved, and just one
Hmm.
example I like to use is flipping a coin. Right, you get a 50-50 shot, right? But let's say that we switched it, and if this particular coin lands on heads 75% of the time, and it lands on tails 25% of the time. You know, if we flip that coin 5 times, it might be even, or tails might, land all of those times. But if we flip that coin 10,000 times, those numbers are going to even out to 75-25.
Hmm.
So there's a decent amount of math um, involved, and hopefully, if I make sure that I'm on the high end of that 50-50, 51, 60, 70, 80% of those coin flips, that things work out in my favor in the long run.
Hey, are you on speaker view or gallery view? Oh,
I believe I'm on gallery view. We're side by
okay.
side right now. Is
Okay,
that what
good.
you're hoping for?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Has this poker playing opened any other opportunities for you? You said you're connecting with a lot of
Oh
people.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually helping this professional poker player who's been a pro for about 15 years. I'm helping him with his podcast. It's called Chasing Poker Greatness. And really, when I say help, I kind of either lurk in the background when he's doing his interviews, or I get the recordings if I'm not able to make the interview, and listen to them, take notes, get the audio uploaded to the podcast platform that he uses, and then take care of the design for his. He calls it a show page. So each show, has a description, and then he's got some photos that he throws up there. So yeah, that's been going on for maybe 3 weeks or so, and yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where, if you want to be an underwater basket weaver, you hang out with other underwater basket weavers, right? You hang
It's
around the underwater basket weaving office, and maybe you pick up a thing or two. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm helping him out, and enjoying it. And again, meeting people that I would have never met before, and being able to interact with them on Zoom is pretty awesome. We have that
that's
common interest of cards and math, and nerding out on that stuff.
it's just so great the doors that open when you walk through one door.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, I still remember, I didn't even know who this guy was. His name's Brad. He has a name, but he was being interviewed by this other fairly well-known poker player, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" And he kind of said some things that resonated with me, so I checked out his website, and you know, see what he was all about. And then, a couple of weeks later, maybe 2, 3, however many weeks, I'm like helping him with his podcasts. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else has changed for you
Oh man.
besides poker?
Real estate's still going really well. That's my career. Poker is just a hobby that maybe generates enough money to buy a soda once a month or something.
No,
Um,
no coffee.
yeah, no coffee, no coffee. After December 1st, though, I'm definitely going to crack open a beer, or excuse me, January. Today's December 1st. After January 1st,
Woo! You've been
I'll
drinking since 4 this morning?
have gone. No, sober since the beginning of September. Um, really wanted to just close out 2020 making as much money and feeling as absolutely the best that I can be, being the best version of myself that I could be. 2020's kicked a lot of people in the shins and punched them in the gut in some
Mhm,
cases, but that was like my last quarter goal. And yeah, I mean, after the first like week, taking a drink of beer or having drinks with friends is more of just a habit. And
mhm.
now it's, people around me in my circle have, finally caught on that, yeah, I'm like cool to hang out. Just I'm not going to drink or, smoke any weed.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we can do this. We can do this together. And I
yeah,
don't need and I don't
yeah, it's
I don't
wild.
need a drink.
It really is. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're spoiled here in Denver and we have so many good beers, from the local breweries, and you could throw a dart at the map and probably hit a dispensary.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, not being hungover, absolutely amazing. That's like my favorite thing, and
Mhm.
feeling very clear in the head with just no other substances. I
You're
don't know.
supercharged.
What's that?
You're supercharged.
Supercharge, yeah. I'm like a V12 right now. I'm on high octane, especially with that coffee this morning. Um, but yeah, being able to wake up whether I want to or not early and feel good is
Uh-huh.
you know again, like there's just so many good beers that I like would just taste one, and I think that would scratch my itch.
Mhm.
But honestly, like the thought of being hungover is kind of terrifying right now, and enough to keep me going long term.
Yeah.
I think there's a time and a place, to celebrate things, but the well, there's not really happy hour, but the weekday uh, unwind after work, that I have had,
Mhm.
up until about 3 years ago when I started in real estate. I don't really have that desire anymore, where I'm like, stuck in an office for 40 hours a week and want to get out and, unwind. Now it's like, I'd rather like do things that get me closer to my long-term goals and, even short-term
Yeah.
goals, which,
Yeah, it's really nice to spend your time in the evening learning and
yeah,
just chasing whatever knowledge you're trying to get versus doing something different that will keep you away from that, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. And that's another thing probably in the last like 2 weeks or so that I've really has really kind of registered in my brain, like, oh well, I mean, I love the Packers, but I don't need to watch every Packers game, because
Right.
whether they win or lose has no uh it doesn't decide whether I achieve my goals or not.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, it's nice, but
yeah, it's fun. I mean, going to Lambeau sounds fun right now and hanging out and all that stuff, but whether they lay an egg or whether they blow out the Bears, that has no weight in my life. It's like still got to do what I got to do.
yeah. Well, maybe that's a good transition because I like watching the Packers, but
Hmm.
I didn't watch the Packers on Sunday night because of what we're talking about. I had plenty of work that I needed to get done, and it absolutely had to get done
Yeah,
because there were customers waiting. And if I would have watched the Packers, that would have set me back a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And oh man, not to cut you off there, but like all this stuff, I'm thinking of like when we, before we even started putting content out there into the internet, it's like we were calling each other, talking about the compound effect, you
mhm.
know, like the thing that started what we've been doing. And it's like, yeah, you just think of, let's just think of 16 weeks, 17 weeks of the NFL season. And let's say you watch every game, or, you take that Sunday off and you're doing whatever you're doing. It's like that adds up. That could be, I don't know, close to 100 hours,
Yeah.
an entire
Yeah,
football.
17 times 3
Yeah.
or 16
Uh,
times 3.
yeah. At
I mean,
least,
that's
at least
not 100, but you probably having a couple beers, and so it ruins the couple hours on each side of the game, maybe.
yeah. Yeah. It adds up to 100 real
or
easy.
you go to parties.
Exactly. It's crazy, isn't it? And it's like, wow, you just were talking about, a couple nights ago at the Packer game, or for the
Right.
Packer game. And, when you think about it, and just, it's like, oh, whoa. And then, I'm giving myself the heebie jeebies right now, because it's like, just think about all the weekends, when we were young and didn't know as much as we know now, when we'd go
Mhm.
out Friday night, probably sleep in Saturday morning, do the same thing or something close to it Saturday. And that's like, early 20s, just,
Yeah, it's like the difference between the 30-year-old person that's making, 75, $100,000 a year, and the 30-year-old that's a millionaire. It's
yeah,
not an accident.
no, so true.
So,
Better late than
yeah,
never.
better
Better
late.
late than never.
Absolutely. Well, I'll on the last time we got together on here, we got we got the update on what I'm doing. So I'll just give a quick update.
Hmm.
It's been very, very invigorating because I got on a product that has been selling really well, and so it's been keeping me busy for the last couple weeks. I
Hmm.
mean, it's really fulfilling because the initial the initial way that it happened was a risk, and it
Hmm.
ended up paying off. And now I'm just selling that product, and that's going to be over, hopefully within like a week.
Hmm.
It's all sold out. But and then uh and then move on to the next opportunity.
Yeah.
Hopefully find the next hot product. I have other products that I'm selling, but this one has just been really good. So it's been really invigorating for me to kind of see what the potential of the business could be.
Hmm.
In such short order from kind of starting this thing,
Yeah.
I just feel blessed to be able to have that experience. Um, but another thing, like I feel like my life is so cool right now because of what I get to do today, which is something that I really wanted to do with this business. So a service that I wanted to offer is to help people set up their trail camera systems.
Hmm.
One of the trail camera systems that I'm selling is called Cuddy Links by
Hmm.
Cuddyback. And what it is there's a home camera that either emails you or texts you pictures,
Hmm.
and you can link up to 24 cameras to that home camera. And
Hmm.
then every 30 pictures that get taken in that network get sent to you either by text or email, however you prefer. And it's pretty intuitive setting it up. And
Hmm.
I think it scares a lot of people, maybe scares them enough to not buy it.
Hmm.
um, so a service that I wanted to offer with selling them is helping people set up their system. So I sold one of these to a guy who's about 15 miles from me, and I'm meeting him at 1 o'clock today to help him set up his cameras on his property.
Sweet. That's awesome, dude.
It's just like this is this is what I do.
Yeah,
This
it is
is
what
what
you do. Heck yeah.
oh, it's so great. So and to be able to get to do that and have that experience so soon into it, I'm just looking forward to it so much because
Yeah. All the doors just flying open, man.
yeah, yeah. So that's really the update for me. I
Nice.
feel really good right now and just gotta stay on it and see what the opportunities are for the next couple months and move forward.
Yeah. How in the next couple months, how are you gonna find the next opportunity? Are you gonna, is it like all research based? Do you have an idea what it might be? What do you even know? Are you just kind of
Well, yeah, luckily I have a couple people who have been in the industry for a long time who kind of know. So one of the things is you kind of shift from hunting to more target. There's a lot of people who shoot like tournament archery,
mm-hmm.
um, but accessories that go with archery. A lot
Mhm.
of those will sell good, sell well all year.
Yeah.
People always want an upgrade or it's just like
That's where they're
any
going, right?
product thing. A product that a person has is running out of date, so
Mm-hmm.
so they need the next thing, and that's always happening in any line of products that would be
Yeah.
sold. So people always want to stay sharp.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's like probably a certain percentage of hunters who put their bow away at the end of the season and then don't grab it again until August.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a smaller and smaller percentage.
Yeah.
People stay on it. So
Mid-season
it's a
form.
hunting. Yeah, hunting is a year-round sport, and there's opportunities in every single season.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Sweet, dude. That sounds so cool. Going to help Joe Smith 15 miles away set up his cameras.
uh, Man, I was like, I love being outside,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I love seeing different properties
Yeah.
and experiencing. This guy is going to be probably so passionate about where he's going to be putting these cameras, and I get to
Mhm.
be there and experience that with him, and it's just cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. It is. Um, yeah, that is so awesome. Well, have fun later today. I'll be thinking about you at 1 o'clock, setting up
Yeah.
your cameras with your new buddy.
Yeah, Joe Smith.
Just awesome, dude.
Awesome.
Well, I'll talk to you soon, and looking forward to talking to you next time.
Okay, good deal.
Later, dude.
Okay, bye-bye.